Hello, my name is Liza Sylvia, and I'm currently a graduate student here at the University of Guelph. I would like to welcome you to the Ontario Veterinary College Convocation ceremony this afternoon. The University of Guelph is honored by our graduates, and we take great pride in this convocation. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the proceedings today. The ceremonials used for conferring degrees have evolved over a millennium, and the gowns and hoods represent that history. In general, the gowns for the baccalaureate and magisteriate degrees are black, and the color of the hood is different for each degree program. The doctorates at the University of Guelph have a bright blue gown, and the honorary degrees are red. The University of Guelph crest that you can see on the curtains behind me and on the front of your convocation program also represents our specific history. The emblems in the crest show links to the Royal City of Guelph through the white stallion above, the connection to liberal arts through the book, to the sciences through the astrolabe, and to our connection to abundance in agriculture through the cornucopia. The University of Guelph motto, Rerum cognoscere cosas, is a quote from Virgil. It is variously translated to be either, happy is the one who is able to ascertain the reason of things, or perhaps to know the meaning of things. The procession of people into the hall is also influenced by ancient tradition. The piper will herald the start of the procession of graduates, the students coming to graduate today. This will be followed by the arrival of the mace leading the platform party. The mace is a symbol of authority of the university and will be carried by the beadle. In medieval universities, a beadle was chosen by the instructor to work as an assistant. Today, the beadle is the ceremonial officer of Senate. Following the beadle and mace is the chancellor and provost, members of the administration and honorees, fellows of the university, members of board and senate, and members of faculty and staff. The degrees will be conferred in the order that you see in your program. The degrees are separated by categories representing the specific degree being awarded within the college. We will begin with doctorates and magisteriates, followed by the baccalaureate degrees. The name reader will present scholars to the chancellor and provost by degree category. As the name of each student is called, the beadle will place the hood over the recipient's shoulders. This moment will be videoed, and technology willing, there will be a simultaneous live cast of the event to allow family members and friends to watch from a distance. The provost will greet each student at center stage, and a photograph will be taken. We understand the joy and excitement accompanying such an auspicious occasion, but we ask that you hold your applause until after each group of graduates has crossed the stage. There will be an opportunity for a truly thunderous applause. Once all the degrees are conferred and all the cheers are cheered, the chancellor will close the ceremony and a recessional will play. If you are able, please remain standing during the recessional until all of the platform party has processed out of the hall. Our colleagues from Alumni Affairs are hosting a social media program developed especially for Convocation. Please share your photos, memories, and advice with graduating students by joining us on social media and using the hashtag #GuelphGrad. Finally, may I be the first person to congratulate the graduates on their various successes and offer my congratulations to the family and friends who are here to support them today. Welcome to Convocation at the University of Guelph. Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
On this day of celebrated accomplishment, we pause and reflect on our place in this world. This afternoon, we acknowledge the Attawandaron people on whose traditional territory the University of Guelph now resides. And we pay our respects to their Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Métis neighbors. On this day that marks the end of a journey, we give thanks. We give thanks for all the friendships that have been forged along the way. We give thanks and are grateful to all those who have supported us, faculty, administration, mentors, and families. I invite you, each in your own way, to take a moment of silence, to reflect on that for which you are grateful, to offer a prayer. As we step into a new tomorrow, may the knowledge that we have gained here be coupled with wisdom and infused with compassion and clothed with humility, that we might contribute to the flourishing of all humanity, that we might embrace the forgotten, enhance the sustainability of all things, and fully discover together what it means to be human. May peace and reconciliation abound. You may be seated.
Good afternoon. I am delighted to officially open this 2017 University of Guelph Convocation ceremony and welcome everyone here. Madam Provost, members of the board, honorary fellows, faculty, staff, family and friends of the graduates. Today, as we celebrate the achievements of our graduating students, I'd like to offer a particular welcome to today's honorary degree recipient, Mike Cranfield, who will be introduced to you shortly if you don't know him. My name is Martha Billis, and I have the honor of serving as Chancellor here at the University of Guelph. And what an honor it is to be here today, back at my university, my alma mater. I think back to when I was in your shoes, proud to be a Mac Institute graduate and anxious to take on the next challenge around the corner. Problem is, we do not always know what is coming or how we're going to get there. Today, I want to instill in you a belief my Dean, Margaret McCready, instilled in me years ago. She was full of advice, but most often said, remember, ladies, you are Mac girls, and Mac girls can do anything. And she was right. I stand before you today to proudly and confidently tell you that the education I received here gave me the wherewithal to go out and strive beyond what I thought I was capable of. Since the days of its founding colleges, the University of Guelph has been a leader in practical education focused on the whole person. The university has fostered an environment that encourages its community of students to aim higher, to make things better, to be more productive, to turn preconceived notions on their head, to make a difference, to improve life. My education opened up doors and offered windows on the world I could not have imagined. Half a century later, those things are still happening here at this fantastic institution. Graduates, your windows are waiting. It's your turn. Your turn to make a difference and to improve life for ourselves and for others. I know you can do it because you are, after all, a University of Guelph graduate, and you can do anything. Good luck to you all. Thank you.
This is such a wonderful sight to see all the graduates here ready for the next step of their lives and to be celebrated with all their family, friends, and others. And thank you very much for joining us today on this important day. Good afternoon. My name is Charlotte Yates, and I have the great privilege of being the Vice President Academic and Provost of the University of Guelph. Graduates, this is your big day. There's been a lot of bumps along the road, a lot of sleepless nights, I have no doubt, cups of coffee perhaps, long walks, and a lot of stress. But guess what? Today, this is the sign that you have made it. You have persevered and you have been successful. Well done and congratulations. Think fast. We've all heard that expression, but you don't often hear someone suggest to you that perhaps you should think slow. But my main message today is twofold: to think fast and to think slow. You are a generation of learners who have been at the forefront of the rapid adoption of technology. You are hyper-connected to the world in ways that I could never have imagined when I was your age. To be honest with you, when I was in my second year of university, the calculator had just been invented. Hard to imagine, I'm not that old, but it does tell you how fast technology has been adopted. You, as a generation, are expected to process large volumes of information and ideas, and you have done so in a highly effective manner, and we're proud of you for that. Your minds and, in fact, your brains are being rewired in response to this rapidly changing, technologically enriched environment. I speak to you as a parent of 2 university-age children, and I see evidence of them, as I do in you, that your minds and your ways of thinking are different than of my generation. We at the university see how you can absorb huge volumes of information and how you are so facile with technology. You're comfortable. You can use it to the best advantage. You have adapted to a fast-paced world in which the volume and speed at which knowledge and information are created and distributed is growing faster all the time. Let me call this a river of knowledge, which you as learners have been navigating over these last few years at the University of Guelph. New ideas come at you all the time. New innovations, new ways to connect people, animals, understand the world. We need to process more information in the same amount of time. We need to think faster. We might call this reactive thinking. Reactive thinking is tactical thinking. It's that what helps a driver negotiate the twists and turns of the road as they drive. But there is another kind of thinking which you have also been encouraged to use, and that's what I would call reflective or slow thinking. It takes a deeper, more strategic view. Not that I'm suggesting that you literally slow down your thoughts. I'm sure that's not possible. However, we are talking about a different kind of thought, not one that is tactical or reactive, but one that is reflective, that enables you to figure out which road to travel. In our fast-paced world, universities are increasingly important places for both kinds of thinking. Reactive thinking that addresses today and allows you to make quick decisions on the basis of assimilating large amounts of information and data. But we also encourage you to use reflective thinking that arises above the here and now to take a long view, a bigger view of the world, to consider tomorrow and the day after and the impact that all of our decisions have on the world around us. As a student at the University of Guelph, you have benefited during the past few years from an environment that I hope has challenged your thinking, an environment that has nurtured freedom of thought and expression and inquiry, an environment that promotes and supports openness to new ideas, one that invites various and different perspectives on problems and opportunities. We tried to encourage you to exercise both reactive and reflective thinking. We've stressed the kind of thinking that enables you not just to provide us with the right answers, but to ask the right questions. We've looked to nurture thinking that is disciplined, but is also interdisciplinary, that draws upon diverse experiences and points of view. That kind of thinking is even more important in a world where the problems we face are large and incredibly complex. Big problems need lots of minds thinking together for solutions, not just like minds, but unlike minds from varied backgrounds and perspectives. There's a proverb that goes something like this: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. You're about to explore and discover the next phase of your lives, including, I hope, finding ways to improve life for others around you and around the world. Go together, think fast, and think slow. Thank you.
Madam Chancellor, upon the recommendation of the Senate of the University of Guelph, I have the honor to present to you Mike Cranfield, the candidate for the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa. The mountain gorilla population, which now stands at 880, is the only great ape population on the increase globally. It has been growing at 4% per year, and about half of this growth is attributed to the work of Gorilla Doctors, a program co-directed by Dr. Michael Cranfield, who is a graduate of the Ontario Veterinary College at the University of Guelph. Dr. Cranfield was the first graduate of a postgraduate training program in zoo and wildlife medicine and pathology, which was established as a collaboration between the Toronto Zoo and the University of Guelph. As Executive Director of the Mountain Gorilla Veterinary Project in Rwanda, Dr. Cranfield aims to conserve these animals in their natural habitat through Gorilla Doctors, a partnership between Mountain Gorilla Veterinary Project and the Wildlife Center at the University of California, Davis. If this wasn't enough, in addition to his work in Africa, he serves as consulting veterinarian for Maryland Zoo, teaches at Johns Hopkins University, and serves as senior veterinarian at the UC Davis Wildlife Center. Among his interests, he has studied emerging diseases transmitted between humans, gorillas, and other species, employing a One Health approach which links the health of animals, humans, and the environment. Dr. Cranfield has earned recognition from the American Association of Zoo Veterinarians for exceptional contributions to conservation, care, and understanding of zoo and free-ranging wildlife. This honorary degree from the University of Guelph recognizes the far-reaching potential that Dr. Michael Cranfield's work to protect gorillas and to ensure the health of animals and humans. I ask you, Madam Chancellor, to confer upon Mike Cranfield the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa.
By the authority of the Senate of the University of Guelph, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science. Congratulations. I am pleased to invite Dr. Mike Cranfield to now give the convocation, your convocation address.
Thank you. Madam Chancellor, Madam Provost, faculty, Violet Komodos, and guests, good afternoon. I'd like to thank the University of Guelph and the College of Veterinary Medicine for the highest honor of my career. I'd have to say that it is bewildering to me and somewhat painful to realize that 40 years ago this week, I was sitting in the chairs that you're sitting in. And I can't remember who spoke or what they said, which puts things in perspective. But I would like to congratulate you on a very hard-earned degree. And at the risk of sounding trite, I would say that it's more than a degree to practice veterinary medicine. It's a passport. And it's a passport to the geophysical world. You can work anywhere around the world that you wish, but it's also a passport to a world of opportunities. And as I was thinking what I would say today, I took some words from our 40th class reunion last week. And basically people were saying that careers are not straight pathways, and they're often sprinkled with disappointment and rewards. Then that you should make the most out of every situation that you're in, even if it isn't an ideal situation. But maybe even more importantly, make sure you take advantage of every opportunity. And you need to assess each opportunity. You don't need to grab onto each opportunity. Make sure it's one that you don't want before you pass it by. And when you walk through those doors of opportunity, it opens up more doors of opportunity, and you often end up in places you never thought possible. I came to Guelph to be a dairy practitioner and can't believe that I ended up with luck to be living and working with wildlife in Africa. So it's a very strange route sometimes. So working with the mountain gorilla is extremely rewarding, not just because they're a magnificent species, but they're also helping the financial situations in developing countries through ecotourism. But more than that, when you're working with an endangered keystone species, you are not only saving them, you're saving their habitat and biodiversity. And biodiversity is the pillar or the foundation of the globe to react to environmental insults, whether they're human-made or naturally made. And our natural landscapes really add quality to the lives of humans. And it's not going to be just the wildlife veterinarians that help conserve this biodiversity. It's going to be all veterinarians. The large animal veterinarian or livestock veterinarians will promote food safety and security. And this will take the pressure off of wildlife bushmeat as protein sources for developing countries. Also, with better food safety and security, the people in the developing countries will have a higher standard of living and will be able to address things like environmental concerns rather than just worrying about day-to-day issues. As we become in a more virtual world, it appears that people are becoming more and more segregated from nature and how we fit in with the ecosystem. I think the human-animal bond is extremely important, and at the heart of that human-animal bond are veterinarians. And when I walked through OVC last week, I was extremely impressed with the advancements in technology and how far the cutting edge of veterinary medicine has come. But I would have to caution, there's still a need for good, economical, sound veterinary medicine for the young, the poor, the young, the old, and the marginalized people that can't afford the cutting edge, but really need to benefit from that human-animal bond. As Jeff said, the mountain gorillas are the only species on the face of the earth that are growing at 4% a year, and the team of gorilla doctors is credited with half of that growth. And our motto is trying to save a species one gorilla at a time, and we're able to do that because the gorillas are habituated, which means they're used to the presence of people, so we can get close enough to do health monitoring on a daily basis and actually do clinical work in the field. And although that program seems to be successful, it is only a Band-Aid. And as Jeff says, we need, as a veterinary profession, to move more towards One Health. And veterinarians have been looking at zoonosis for centuries, but is now packaged in a different package that is seems to be more acceptable to the human medical field and some environmentalists. And so we have started doing the One Health concept means that the health of the gorillas is directly connected to the health of the huge population surrounding the parks, the 30,000 tourists that go see the gorillas a year, the trackers, guides, and porters that enter the park each day. And along with that, the livestock that supports those people, their companion animals, and other wildlife in the area. So as gorilla doctors, we've had to partner, collaborate, and facilitate in many sectors of health in the region. I'd like to mention 4 veterinarians that have helped with the Gorilla Project that graduated from the University of Guelph, just to show you the array of fields that get involved. The first one is Dr. Dale Smith, a recently retired veterinary pathologist. You probably all were taught by her. What a great lady. And she came to Africa and taught pathology at Makerere University in Kampala, Uganda. She then came and taught and built capacity in pathology in our staff. And finally, she's now on the North America Path Network, which is a group of North American veterinary pathologists that read histopathology live across the internet with African pathologists, which is helping with disease surveillance and building capacity. The second one is Dr. Rick Quinn, and he's a graduate, I think, in the 80s, and he is a board-certified veterinary ophthalmologist that works out of London, Ontario. He came to teach our staff about ophthalmology, but became very intrigued by the gorillas in One Health and came back and started his own organization called the Docs for Great Apes, which is MDs, veterinarians, and public health workers that are developing modules to build capacity of the human health workers in the remote clinics around the parks. And then a little closer to home, there's Emily Denstead. Her sister, I believe, was in your class. She is presently in Rwanda, and she is teaching one of these modules. She's doing 3 things. She's teaching the modules, she's evaluating how well the modules are working, and she's training the trainers. And then lastly, there's Mira Zaiolo, who's doing a PhD with us, evaluating our employee health program. And she's trying to see whether we're reaching our goals of mitigating the transmission of infectious diseases from humans to gorillas. There are over 6.5 billion people on the face of the earth right now, and we are definitely moving towards globalization. And globalization is the rapid movement of people and products throughout the world. And what this has done is set the stage for a potential pan-epidemic disease outbreak. And I'd like to mention, just to hopefully broaden some perspectives, there are 2 initiatives. One is USAID Emerging Pandemic Threats, of which gorilla doctors participate in 3 countries. And it's in 23 countries, and we're looking at the wildlife-human interface in rodents, bats, and primates to see what viruses are there, since 75% of emerging pandemic viruses are coming from wildlife. That doesn't mean that wildlife is any sicker than it used to be. It means that we're changing our relationships with wildlife and moving into habitats that we've never been in before. We're also affecting weather changes, which is affecting vector distribution, which is also coming on strong with that. In 5 years, in the 23 countries that this emerging pandemic threats program was in, we found 169 of the known viruses and 815 novel viruses, which doubled the number of known mammalian viruses to that date. And so the potential is out there, and it's going to take veterinarians to help mitigate the risks. Secondly, one that's a little bit closer to home is the Global Health Security Agenda, and Canada is a member of that, being a member of the G7. And one of their major contributions is to build the capacity, the veterinary capacity, within 60 countries. And so as you sit there, you are entering into a very complicated, complex world, but one that is full of opportunities, and I'm sure you'll take full advantage. I'd just like to acknowledge the mentorship of Ian Barker, who helped me through some difficult times as a student, and thank my brother John and his wife Vicky for coming to share this special day with you. And as I leave, I would like to say that I hope your license/passport gives you as much fulfillment as my degree from Guelph has given me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cranfield. That was really inspiring. Wow. Imagine the future that awaits you all. Now is the moment you have all been waiting for. Can I ask the graduating class to please rise? Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University of Guelph, that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I hereby accept you for admission to your various and several degrees with all the rights, privileges, and obligations appertaining thereto.
Thank you. Will members of the graduating class please be seated?
Well, good afternoon, graduates and proud family members and friends of the graduates. I'm sure you're all very excited and perhaps a little relieved, certainly happy to see your graduate walk across the stage and be greeted by the provost. And you may want to express your emotions or excitement in some audible manner. This is fine, please go ahead, but may we ask that the general applause wait until the end of the presentation of all the DVM degree. Thank you. Madam Chancellor, Madam Provost, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the Ontario Veterinary College that they may be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. Whitney Heidi Alper. Melissa Anderson with distinction. Alana Bax with distinction. Vivek Basu. Kaylee Maria Bernardo. Jody Deanna Sears Beerworth with distinction. Oh, darn slow. Joanna Bill with distinction. Patrick Robert Bosterly, with distinction. Heather Marie Boots, with distinction. Catherine Ann Bottoms, with distinction. Spencer James Stanton Burley. Krista Sharon Ann Campbell. Andrew Chong, with distinction. Natalie C. Ming Chow, with distinction. Claire Janet Clements, with distinction. Allison Jane Collier, with distinction. Kevin Stewart Colliver, with distinction. Alicia Catherine Combe, with distinction. I think I'm all right. Laura Catherine Constantinescu, with distinction. Miriam Coulthard, with distinction. Jennifer Lindsay Crew, with distinction. Laura Catherine Demisho. Emma Larissa Joyce Delatala, with distinction. Stephanie Delorme, with distinction. Sarah Elizabeth Downing. Christina Ann Doyle. Erin Elizabeth Duffy, with distinction. Kylie Alexandra Evers, with distinction. Abigail Finley. Alicia Susan Forsyth, with distinction. Kristen Michelle Frederick. Avery Gagnon, with distinction. Mallory Rachel Gilmer. Lauren Gregory, with distinction. Jessica Zuyen Gu, with distinction. Caitlin Marie Gualiano, with distinction. Justine Ray Gugino, with distinction. Stephanie Geiler, with distinction. Jennifer Hanmore. Abigail Elizabeth Harris. Christopher William Hauser with distinction. Haley Catherine Hickling with distinction. Jessica Marion Russell Hinch. Tanya Ann Nateko with distinction. Ann Hong. Cassandra Ann Jackson with distinction. Katrina Lynn Yankovic with distinction. Leah Khan with distinction. Rianne Alexandra Camula with distinction. Jacob Keitel with distinction. Sangsu Daniel Kim. Kara Lee Kitchen. Kaushalya Kurupu. Sarah La Liberté with distinction. Ashley Catherine Lamond with distinction. Sarah Ann Leeson. Amanda Jessica Lee. Jared Andre Lowe with distinction. Stephanie Ann Lovell with distinction. Rachel Michelle Manjos with distinction. Michelle Mitraille with distinction. Kelsey Ann Milmine. Catherine Elizabeth Moffett with distinction. Andre Marquise Morin with distinction. Catherine Ann Marie Mundy. Julie Christine Must with distinction. Andrea Nicole Nace. Rachel Kathleen Needles. Heather Yolanda Neureiter with distinction. Robert Olender with distinction. Gregory Joseph Oliver with distinction. Laura Elizabeth Omelianyuk. Ruben Xiao Yi Ong. Andrew Willis O'Ree with distinction. So cute. Benjamin Potvin with distinction. Viveka Lee Ranala with distinction. Teresa Desiree Wrights with distinction. Jessica Claire Richards with distinction. Daniela Maria Rizzo with distinction. Amy Victoria Helena Rojan with distinction. Sabina Romanescu with distinction. Rose Janine Emily Rumney with distinction.
Really nice, easy one.
Mhm. Candice Runyon. Amanda Ling Saldivia Wu with distinction. Allison Katerina Schroeder with distinction. Carrie Schutten with distinction. Chanel Marie Schwartzentruber with distinction. Foster Joseph Scott. Pradnya Shah. Diana Wehua Shum with distinction. Heather Elizabeth Skripczak with distinction. Melissa Nicole Smith with distinction. Tessa Farrell Spooner with distinction. Megan Stapleton. Carly Margaret Stewartson with distinction. Caitlin Stormont with distinction. Benita Schwinn with distinction. Noreen Sumar. Kathleen Alice Jane Taylor with distinction. Christina Danielle Toth. Heather Lynn Trainer. Crystal Suet Ying Tsi with distinction. Brittany Alexandra Vivian with distinction. Melissa Lynn Huntingford Wagner. Jonathan Mark Waito. Ann Dorrance Wallace. Shannon Colleen Walsh with distinction. Rebecca Lynn Weller. Jessica Amelia White with distinction. Jenna Jacqueline Williamson with distinction. Cassandra Stephanie Young with distinction. Please join me in congratulating this newly minted group of doctors of veterinary medicine.
Wow, that was a great celebration. Madam Chancellor, I would ask you to confer the various and several degrees on the graduates listed in the program, but unable to be present at this ceremony.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I confer the various and several degrees in absentia on the graduands not present.
Well, graduates, you've done it. Congratulations. And welcome all of you to the Griffin alumni family, a growing family. This week, and this is our last graduation for this week, more than 3,400 new graduates are joining that Guelph alumni family. University of Guelph alumni number over 125,000 around the world. And of course, one of them you heard from this afternoon with the address, a long way from us. We are all proud of your accomplishments here at the University of Guelph and look forward to seeing how the foundations you've developed over these last few years serve to establish you in the future and contribute to your future successes. We want to celebrate your achievements and successes, and I ask you to keep in touch with us. Remember that the University of Guelph campus will always be a home to you. Graduates, you've made memories here, including, I hope, today's ceremony. Remember this when you leave. You were a student for a short time, although as a vet, a little bit longer than many, but a Griffin forever. Now, before the end of this ceremony, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge two individuals. One individual who has been a significant contributor to Convocation over the past 12 years. Kate Revington, if you could stand. Kate Revington was today's beadle, and you can't believe how heavy that thing is. It's really, really heavy. And she served as Secretary of the Senate since 2005, and she's led Convocation procession as a beadle for over 120 Convocation ceremonies. She's hooded over 20,000 students as they came across the stage. Today is Kate Revington's final Convocation ceremony, and I thank you for your tremendous leadership and contributions for over 21 years here at the University of Guelph. I also want to offer a particular thank you to our newly appointed Chancellor, Martha Billis. Dr. Billis only very recently became Chancellor, and if I tell you she's done 23 ceremonies this week and convocated over 3,400 graduates. So thank you for your enthusiasm and your incredible commitment to the University of Guelph. We look forward to many more years. This concludes our formal Convocation ceremony, but I do have a couple of important announcements. First of all, the College Dean will host a reception for all graduates and their guests at Creelman Hall. This is just across the way. This is an opportunity to congratulate graduates, but also celebrate with one another, introduce your family and friends to your other co-graduates, and to kind of celebrate with each other, as many of you will go your different ways, and it'll be amazing. You won't see each other quite so often. I should advise you that once the platform party has processed off the stage, there will be a very brief intermission, after which the graduates will participate in the veterinarian's oath and awards ceremony. Finally, I want to thank all the volunteers who make this graduation possible. If I tell you, all the graduations this week rely on dozens and dozens of our committed staff, and I want to say thank you all for making this a fabulous experience. And finally, the final word goes to our Chancellor, as only seems fitting.
Is dismissed.
just ask you how long the district makes this? 15 minutes. One more time, you did it! Sorry, Jerry.
I'm sorry? There wasn't any rules. Right out. You want something really uncomfortable.
Hello, how are you? Good, how are you? Good. Working hard? Yeah.
I think you sit beside her here.
I did. How about the back? Okay.
I'm the first presenter. Always the first. Always the Is there order? I don't think so.
Nice.
Oh, there are. Okay. I don't have to strip, so I don't know. You're on.
There's a few last minute.
All right. Here we are. We're good. We're fine. Good, you're on the front. I'm taking space here. Well, I need one of those.
What's that? Oh, I see. I got to start with New Zealand, so I know what I'm doing.
Very much at the end.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, they all played it. But yeah, it was nice.
But it's good advice for life in a way, you know. Go slow and take advantage of whatever you're doing. Go slow. Yeah.
Got it?
I hope so.
I'm waiting for you. You're going to invite us?
Yeah, I think, you know, when they moved it away from Denmark, people really missed the entire
That's really, it's always got that students themselves. So yeah, there are some real values. So far they can make that decision. They can try to do
Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Wichtel, members of the faculty and staff, fellow veterinarians, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ontario Veterinary College's Convocation Awards and Veterinarians Oath Ceremony. If we haven't yet met, my name is Peter Conlon. I have the great pleasure and privilege of being the Associate Dean Students at the Ontario Veterinary College. In our awards ceremony today, we are recognizing members of the OVC community who have made outstanding contributions to it. They're being honored for a wide range of accomplishments. Staff members for their contributions to our support services, faculty members for their teaching and mentoring skills, and graduates for their academic prowess and their contributions to the betterment of the college and the profession. Before we start, a few housekeeping details. Please look on the program if you're a recipient or a presenter to see when your award is coming up. And if presenters and recipients would rendezvous on the stage here to my right, receive our boisterous congratulations, and then smile for the camera as our photographer takes a picture for posterity. If I don't announce an award on the program, it is because the recipient is unable to be with us today. The first award is the Catherine Elizabeth Long DVM Memorial Prize, presented in memory of Catherine Long. It's given to a graduate elected by his or her classmates as a person who strives most consistently to apply the highest standards of veterinary knowledge and skills while showing concerns for animals' comfort and welfare. Dr. Rob Butler, who was a classmate of Dr. Long in OVC 1988 and the owner of the Guelph Animal Hospital, presents this award to Dr. Christopher Hauser. So Chris showed us all how to do it. It's tough to be a leader. It's tough to be a leader, but you did great. The College of Veterinarians of Ontario Prize. The CVO is the licensing body for veterinarians in the province, and it ensures that the public interest is protected. This award is presented to a graduate who's chosen by their classmates, who's been active in OVC and university affairs. Ms. Jan Robinson is the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer for the CVO, presents this award to Dr. Patrick Bolsterley. The F.W. Schofield Prize was established in recognition of Dr. Schofield's contributions in veterinary pathology and is presented to the graduate in this class with the highest ranking in pathology. Dr. Schofield graduated from OVC in 1910 and was a renowned pathologist and bacteriologist. Dr. Darren Wood, Associate Professor in the Department of Pathobiology at OVC and one of the Komodo's 3 honorary class presidents, presents this award to Dr. Stephanie Delorme. The American College of Veterinary Radiology Senior Student Award, presented to a student who excels in clinical radiology during their companion animal hospital rotations and who shows outstanding enthusiasm and understanding in diagnostic and therapeutic radiology. Dr. Stephanie Nykamp, who's an associate professor in radiology and associate dean clinical program, presents the award to Dr. Heather Boots. The American College of Veterinary Dermatology Senior Veterinary Student Award recognizes excellent knowledge, interest, and aptitude in dermatology during the companion animal hospital rotations. Dr. Carolyn Kerr, who is an anesthesiologist and chair of the Clinical Studies Department at OVC, presents the award to Dr. Kylie Evers. And the American College of Veterinary Ophthalmologists Award recognizes excellent knowledge, interest, and aptitude in ophthalmology during the companion animal hospital rotations. Dr. Chantal Pinard, who is a veterinary ophthalmologist and faculty member in the Department of Clinical Studies, presents this award to Dr. Erin Duffy. The following three awards, sponsored by Aventex Animal Health, will be presented by Ms. Amanda Sheffield, who's the Territory Manager for Aventex. First is the Animal Health Prize in Ophthalmology for the graduate with the greatest proficiency in the ophthalmology rotation in the companion animal hospital. Dr. Stephanie Delorme is the recipient. And the Aventex Animal Health Prize in Dentistry is given to the graduate with the greatest proficiency in dentistry in the companion animal hospital. And Dr. Noreen Sumar is a recipient of this award. And the third, the Dr. Wendy Parker Award in Dermatology. This award, which honors Dr. Parker, a retired faculty member and dermatologist at OVC for many years, is for the highest mark in the dermatology rotation. Dr. Chanel Schwartzentruber is the recipient. The Hills Buddy Prize. In 1943, Dr. Mark Morris proposed that some diseases in pets could be managed through carefully formulated diets. And he developed one for the guide dog Buddy of a young blind man named Morris Frank. And the result of Dr. Morris's efforts were the nutritional formulation that would become the world's first pet food designed to help dogs with kidney disease. This award is presented for exhibiting the greatest interest, knowledge, and proficiency in clinically applying nutritional knowledge to the treatment and management of diseases of companion animals. Dr. Stephanie Nykamp presents this award. Sorry, I stumbled. To Dr. Heather Boots. Actually do know who Dr. Nykamp is. There was a change in the presenter. That's why I feel you staring at me. The Dr. Jim Bell Prize in honor of Dr. Jim Bell from Bellbrae Animal Hospital. The Featherston Charitable Foundation established this award. OVC faculty members nominate students for the award based on their demonstration of compassion and dedication to their small animal patients. From among the nominees, their classmates choose the award recipient. The characteristics of the recipient are a willingness to mentor others, the ability to work well individually and with a team, self-motivation, and the willingness to accept a challenge. Dr. Jim Bell is here to present this award to Dr. Sarah Laliberté. Keyvet Memorial Prize in Surgery is given in memory of Thomas Morris Keyvet, OVC 66, and was established by his classmates. It is given for proficiency and interest in surgery. Dr. Amit Singh, Associate Professor in the Department of Clinical Studies, presents the award to Dr. Kylie Evers. Dr. Singh also presents the American College of Veterinary Surgeons Awards, which are presented to graduates judged to show the most interest in academic and clinical proficiency in surgery, one in large animals and one in small. The recipients are Dr. Jessica Richards, large animals, and Dr. Chanel Schwarzentruber, companion animals. The American Association of Equine Practitioners Frank J. Milne Memorial Prize is named for Dr. Milne, who was an OVC faculty member for over 30 years, and he was president of the AAEP in 1971. It is given to a graduate with excellent skills in large animal surgery. Dr. Luis Arroyo, advisor to the student chapter of the AAEP at OVC and associate professor in clinical studies, presents the award to Dr. Teresa Reitz. The W.J.R. Fowler Prize, named for a graduate of the class of OVC 1899. And Dr. Fowler was a faculty member for 55 years and renowned for his skill in surgery. The award is given for the highest proficiency in equine medicine and surgery. And Dr. Joanne Hewson, associate professor in the Department of Clinical Studies and a member of the OVC Awards Committee, presents this award to Dr. Melissa Smith. Dr. Hewson also presents the Dr. D.J. McClellan Prize in memory of Dr. McClellan, who practiced in Woodville, Ontario for 2 years in the early 20s and then entered the Federal Veterinary Inspection Service. Dr. McClellan worked for the Ontario Racing Commission for about 15 years and created this award for the highest standing in courses dealing with equine contagious diseases. Dr. Jessica Richards receives this award. The Ogilvy Leadership Prize in Food Animals has been created by the Ogilvy family, which has a strong family history with the college, including Dr. Tim Ogilvy, DVM and MSc graduate, Dr. Thomas Ogilvy, OVC 2010, and Dr. Adam Ogilvy, DVSC in 2014. The family has a strong interest in serving and advancing veterinary medicine for the food animal sector, and this award is given to the student in the fourth year food animal stream who best demonstrates their leadership skills in the food animal area while at OVC. Dr. Carrie Lismore, Associate Dean Academic, presents the award to Dr. Ben Potvin. The Samuel Downing Stirk Prize is presented in honor of Dr. Stirk to a graduate with the best diagnostic ability in large animals. Dr. Stirk was born on a farm at Roslyn, Ontario in Hastings County, and he graduated from OVC at age 20 in 1912. He started practicing veterinary medicine in Brampton, Ontario, and practiced there for 66 years. 2017 plus 66 is what? You'll have to do the math. He was a mentor to many young veterinarians, many of whom went on to become highly respected in the profession. Dr. Brad Hanna, who's a faculty member in the Department of Biomedical Sciences and another member of the OVC Awards Committee, presents this award to Dr. Candace Runyon. The Ontario Pork Producers Marketing Board Prize is presented to the graduate who is the most proficient in the study of swine diseases and in the health management and welfare of swine. Mr. Chris Cossett, board member of Ontario Pork, presents this award to Dr. Kaushalya Karupu. The Curtis Bovine Award recognizes the significant contributions to bovine practice made by Dr. Curtis, who was an OVC grad in 1961. He was also a faculty member here and at the Atlantic Veterinary College in Charlottetown. He was a pioneer in his profession and introduced many of the concepts of herd health practice in North America. This award is given to a graduate with high academic standing, excellent clinical competence, and demonstrated interest in bovine medicine. Dr. Lismore presents this award to Dr. Rose Rumney. The Dr. Bob Hayes Memorial Prize was created in memory of Dr. Hayes, class of OVC 1978. He was a large animal practitioner and well-respected and highly valued veterinarian in the field of food safety and animal welfare, and he held senior positions with the Canadian Food Inspection Agency and the Ontario Ministry of Agriculture and Food. The award was established by his family to recognize his commitment to veterinary medicine. It is presented to a graduate from the food animal stream of Phase 4 who demonstrates involvement in and knowledge about food safety issues in veterinary medicine. Dr. Hayes' children, Dr. Aaron Hayes, class of OVC 2014, and Mr. Sean Hayes present this award to Dr. Candace Runyon. The Ontario Veterinary Medical Association, Erie Veterinary Association Herd Health and Population Medicine Prize. The OVMA is the organization that represents veterinarians and our interests in this province. The award is presented to the graduate with the highest proficiency in health management courses. It is presented by Dr. Kathleen Norman, who is the president of the OVMA, and the recipient is Dr. Shannon Walsh. The Ontario Association of Bovine Practitioners Prize is given for proficiency in bovine herd health management and an interest in bovine practice. Dr. Dan Schock, who is the treasurer of the Ontario Association of Bovine Practitioners, presents the award to Dr. Ben Potvin. Grey Bruce Farmers Week Prize was established to recognize new veterinarians entering practice in Grey or Bruce counties who will be working with food animals. Grey Bruce Farmers Week is a 6-day agricultural conference, and 2017 marks its 51st year of educational programming. Mr. Bill Heron, who is the Grey Bruce Farmers Week, presents this award to Dr. Kelsey Milmine. The Holstein Association of Canada Prize is presented to the graduate who has the highest academic achievement in bovine medicine and health management courses. Mr. Gerald Schipper, Holstein Canada National Director, presents this award to Dr. Candace Runyon. The Summit Veterinary Pharmacy Prize in Clinical Pharmacology was created by Summit Veterinary Pharmacy to recognize a graduate who has exhibited superior performance in the field of clinical pharmacology. Mr. Grant Garrow, who's the Business Development Manager at Summit Veterinary Pharmacy, presents this award to Dr. Allison Collier. Mr. Gus Lagerquist was a great friend to OVC and to the veterinary profession. In honor of his 90th birthday in 2014, our former dean, Dr. Elizabeth Stone, created the Gus Lagerquist 5V Prize, which, wait for it, recognizes him as a World War II veteran who fought for victory and was very valued by the veterinary profession. And you were wondering no more. The award is for a graduate who is selected by their classmates as a student who has worked to build class unity and teamwork, focused on helping others rather than him or herself, advocated for OVC, best demonstrated business acumen, and demonstrated the desire and ability to advance the veterinary profession. The Dean, Dr. Wichtel, presents this award to Dr. Laura Omelianyuk. The OVC 75 Prize in memory of Aki Sassage was established by his classmates and colleagues from the class of OVC 75. It is given to the graduate with the highest standing in the veterinary externship course. Dr. Stephanie Nykamp presents this award to Dr. Alana Bax. The Dr. Jonathan Bloom OVC 93 Ambassadorial Prize is presented for initiative and motivation in an elective or externship experience outside of OVC. The recipient is selected based on the evaluation by the elective host and the manner in which the college and the profession were represented. Dr. Jonathan Bloom of Willowdale Animal Hospital in Toronto presents the award to Dr. Candace Runyon. The American Association of Feline Practitioners Prize is presented to the graduate showing particular interest and aptitude in feline medicine and surgery, presented by Ms. Xenia Brown, class of OVC 2020, and the DVM student representative on the OVC Awards Committee, presents this award to Dr. Allison Collier. The Marielle Prize of Merit in Feline Medicine, presented to a graduate for proficiency in small animal medicine with particular aptitude in feline medicine and patient care. Dr. Fran Rotundo, Technical Service Veterinarian at Marielle Animal Health, which is now Boehringer Ingelheim, presents this award to Dr. Rose Rumney. The Molly Carrington Scholarship. Dr. Carrington was an intern in the OVC Small Animal Clinic when she died in 1981 of cancer. This award was initiated by the class of OVC 78 and is presented in memory of her. It is presented to a graduate who has demonstrated high standards of care and compassion for small animal patients. Dr. Shannon Gowland, who is a primary care veterinarian in the OVC Smith Lane Animal Hospital, presents this award to Dr. Andrea Nace. They'll explain that to you later. The OVC 1986 Memorial Prize. The OVC 1986 class created this brand new award this year to invest in OVC students and to honor the friends and classmates that they have lost too early. The recipient of this award is chosen by a vote of the third year class as the member of the graduating class who has provided them with the most meaningful mentorship and guidance throughout their first 3 years of the DVM program. Dr. Donald Bissonnette, OVC 1986, presents this award to Dr. Patrick Bulsterley. The Beloved Friends Prize honors Missy, the McBride family dog, who died in 1985 at the grand age of 20. It is presented for kindness and care in the treatment of animals in the medicine and surgery clinics at OVC. Dr. Julia Hughes, who was a clinical skills coordinator and instructor for the Komodos, and one of the class's honorary class presidents as well, and the recipient of this award is Dr. Allison Collier. The Veterinary Emergency and Critical Care Society Award recognizes a graduate who displays extraordinary commitment and proficiency in emergency and critical care. Dr. Shane Bateman, Associate Professor in Clinical Studies in the area of critical care, presents this award to Dr. Heather Skripchak. The Veterinary Cancer Society Bob Rosenthal Award was created to commemorate Dr. Rosenthal's service to internal medicine, oncology, and radiation oncology at the universities of Illinois and Wisconsin. And the award recognizes a graduate who is deemed to have outstanding aptitude for and competence in the diagnosis, treatment, and general care of companion animals affected by cancer. Dr. Byron Bridle, who's a faculty member of the Department of Pathobiology and who researches in the area of cancer, and who is the third honorary class president for the class, presents the award to Dr. Sarah Laliberté. The American College of Veterinary Pathologists Award is for a graduate with outstanding achievement, proficiency, and interest in veterinary pathology. Dr. Darren Wood presents this award to Dr. Stephanie Delorme. The Alan H. Meek Prize for Leadership and Good Citizenship is provided by Dr. Meek, who was a former dean of the Ontario Veterinary College. The recipient is chosen by OVC faculty members as the graduate having best demonstrated leadership and good citizenship during their 4 years at OVC, and who is expected to be a leader throughout his or her professional career. The Dean, Dr. Wichtel, presents this award to Dr. Patrick Bowes-Sturley. The Dr. Jim Mitchell Prize was established to honor Dr. Mitchell, class of OVC 1972, from Markdale Veterinary Services. And the recipient of this award, nominated by OVC faculty members based on the demonstration of compassion and dedication to equine patients. From among the nominees, their classmates choose the award recipient based on their willingness to mentor others, the ability to work well individually and as part of a team, as somebody who's self-motivated, and somebody who is willing to accept a challenge. Dr. Mitchell presents this award to Dr. Ashley Lamond. The Zoetis prizes are for proficiency in large animal medicine and for proficiency in small animal medicine. Dr. Lismore presents these awards to Dr. Melissa Smith for large animals, Dr. Emma Delatella for companion animals. The class of OVC 1941 presents the Charles Duncan McGillivray Prize in memory of a former principal of OVC from 1918 to 1945. The award was first presented in 1954 and is given to a graduate who, by their scholarship, leadership, personality, and character, has made an extraordinary commitment to the college as a DVM student. The Dean presents this award to Dr. Allison Collier. The Mitchell Family Prize has been created by Dr. Bert Mitchell and his family in appreciation of the education provided to them by the University of Guelph. Dr. Mitchell's distinguished career spanned the private and public sectors, and his contributions made an important impact on public policy in Canada and the United States, both at Ralston Purina and as the director of the Bureau of Veterinary Drugs and in senior positions at the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. The recipient of this award is selected based on their leadership and contributions in the field of public health, toxicology, or pathology. Dr. Bert Mitchell is here to present this award to Dr. Stephanie Delorme. The International Veterinary Academy Pain Management Prize, presented to the graduates selected by faculty and staff who's achieved distinction among his or her peers in the area of animal pain management through academic prowess and by demonstrating the proper understanding of analgesics and analgesic modalities. Dr. Shane Bateman presents this award to Dr. Tessa Spooner. American College of Veterinary Internal Medicine Awards recognize graduates who demonstrate outstanding knowledge and clinical skills in internal medicine. Dr. Arroyo presents the American College of Veterinary Internal Medicine Certificates of Clinical Excellence to Dr. Allison Collier, Dr. Stephanie Lovell, and Dr. Rose Rumney. Much better. The estate of the late Jean McDougall provides this next award. As determined by the Director of Veterinarians and staff of the Hills Pet Nutrition Primary Healthcare Center, the recipient will have consistently demonstrated exceptional skills in providing preventive and wellness health care to companion animals and their owners as a team member in the Primary Healthcare Center. Dr. Shannon Gowland presents this award to Dr. Chanel Schwarzendruber. Since 1930, the Ontario Veterinary College has annually presented the Andrew Smith Memorial Medal. This gold medal in memory of Dr. Smith, who was our founder, is given for exemplary scholastic ability and proficiency in clinical fields, and it is the highest honor bestowed upon a graduate by the college. The Dean presents the Andrew Smith Memorial Medal to Dr. Rose Rumney. This concludes the awards for our graduating class, and we're pleased now to present awards to recognize members of our staff and faculty. The Ontario Veterinary College Year 68 Award for Teaching Excellence is determined by a vote of the graduating class and is given for excellence in clinical teaching. It is presented to a faculty member recognized as being exemplary in their teaching and in supporting and caring for students over their 4 years at OVC. Dr. John Hummel from the class of 1968 and Dr. Wichtel present the award to this year's recipient, Dr. Chantal Pinard, Clinical Studies. The Carlton L. Giles OVC Support Staff Excellence Award. All support staff members in OVC are eligible for this award, and the person selected to receive it must exemplify the characteristics of Dr. Giles, a university professor emeritus from the Department of Pathobiology. And those characteristics, as many of us well know, include being an exemplary role model, creating a positive effect on those around them, being thoughtful and compassionate, having a willingness to accept responsibility that goes beyond their job function, and striving always for high quality, and being optimistic. A lot. Dr. Giles presents the award to Ms. Carla de Usler, who is a financial clerk in OVC's Shared Administrative Services. I should say Carl is an excellent example of the many, many staff members who keep the college running behind the scenes that often are not acknowledged as they should be. So congratulations, Carla. Dr. David Hobson, OVC 2001, who's manager of technology transfer at the Catalyst Center at the university, presents the OVC 2001 Support Staff Award to a member of the OVC community who has gone above and beyond their job description to help in the learning process and to help make OVC a special, enjoyable working and learning environment. The recipient this year is Ms. Nada Ferfari from Hospitality Services, and Nada is one of the helpful and friendly faces our students see every day in the OVC cafeteria. Mariel Award for Excellence in Clinical Teaching is presented to a veterinarian who's taught students in clinical rotations in the final year of the DVM program, and is presented based on the results of a class vote at the end of the year. The criteria are teaching ability, dedication to the discipline, character, and leadership. Dr. Jeff Wichtel and Dr. Fran Rotundo present this award to Dr. Shannon Galvin, primary care veterinarian in the OVC Smith Lane Animal Hospital. Dr. Wichtel presents the K.M. Batnagar Memorial Humanitarian Award for a faculty member who best portrays the attributes of Dr. Batnagar. He was a faculty member in biomedical sciences from 1968 to 1989. The recipient is chosen by the third year class, and they should be active in University of Guelph affairs, involved with students as both friend and supporter, and express a genuine concern toward their well-being. And this year's Phase 3 students have chosen Dr. Amit Singh from the Department of Clinical Studies. The Canadian Veterinary Medical Association is the national body that speaks for veterinarians and our interests. Ms. Caitlin Weaver in the class of OVC 2019, who's the senior student representative for CVMA at OVC, and Dr. Wichtel present the CVMA Teacher of the Year Award to a faculty member who has displayed teaching excellence in the second year of the DVM curriculum. This year, the award is presented to Dr. Don Trout, an associate professor in clinical studies. Dr. Wichtel also presents the Zoetis Faculty Award for Research Excellence, created to foster innovative research on which the scientific advancement of the profession depends, and it recognizes outstanding research effort and productivity. It is given to a member of the faculty who is being nominated by his or her peers as an outstanding researcher. This year, the award is presented to Dr. Patrick Borland, an associate professor in pathobiology. The OVC Undergraduate Teaching Award was created by the OVC Dean's Office to recognize exceptional devotion and effectiveness of an OVC faculty member who teaches undergraduate students at the University of Guelph, as many of our faculty members do. Dr. Wichtel presents the award to Dr. Matt Vicarius, Associate Professor, Biomedical Sciences. And Dr. Wichtel presents the Carl J. Norden Distinguished Teacher Award. This award recognizes an outstanding teacher within the DVM program who, through their ability, dedication, and leadership, contributes significantly to the advancement of the profession. The profession. The recipient is Dr. Chantal Pinard. Please join me once more in congratulating all of these outstanding people. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Patrick Bolsterley, who has been chosen by his classmates as their valedictorian. Possibly their veterinarian, but certainly their valedictorian. Dr. Bolsterley.
Hello and welcome OVC staff, faculty, family, friends, and to OVC's newest graduates, the Violet Komodos. Take them over. We are so pleased that you could join us to celebrate as we officially transition from students to veterinarians. I just want to take a moment to say thank you to my classmates for the privilege of speaking to you on this special day. In a class filled with so many outstanding people whom I so deeply respect and admire, it is a true honor to have been chosen to stand before you. Thanks are also due to the many people who have supported us throughout our lives to help us to get to this point. To our families, friends, significant others, and mentors, you've been on this ride with us for far longer than the years we've been in the program. Ever since that first moment when we decided to pursue this career path, you were there for us, pushing us to do our best, celebrating our successes, and comforting us when things didn't go according to plan. You waited nervously with us as we frantically checked our emails hoping for good news, and you were the first people we called when we were finally accepted to OVC. During our time here, your support has meant the world to us. All of the phone calls and Facebook posts, be they from our own moms or Andre's, help to keep us focused. Help to keep us focused to achieve our goals. You are so very much a part of the reason we are here today. It should be us buying you dinner tonight, but we just finished school, so this one's still on you. To the incredible staff of OVC, thank you for your patience, your advice, and your commitment to helping us achieve our highest potential. Our gratitude may not have been so evident following a Monday morning test or in the late hours of on-call, but please know that we are so grateful to have had the opportunity to learn alongside the most brilliant minds our profession has to offer. So to every professor, clinician, technician, resident, intern, support staff, on behalf of the class of 2017, thank you so very much. So about 4 years ago, for most of us, we had just received the news that we were admitted to the Ontario Veterinary College. Looking back, it's a little strange to think that there was not a purple item in my wardrobe, and corn was to be eaten, not ignored. Since then, we have all experienced a lot of change in our lives. Together, we began a truly transformative journey, where we were constantly pushing the envelope and learning that we were capable of far more than we gave ourselves credit for. The DVM program is very challenging, and after every hurdle, you seem to be facing a bigger one. So often we doubted ourselves, but we always came out on top. That is not to say that everything went perfectly. That is not to say we never needed help or second chances, but in the end, we always made it through. I think a big part of our success was due to the constant support from our wonderfully kind, though undeniably bizarre, Komodo family. Throughout the last 4 years, my classmates have never failed to impress me with their willingness to lend a hand when someone else was in need. The unique Komodo spirit that I have come to know and love was such an important part of my time at OVC. This is a class where a call for volunteers never went unanswered. This is a class that would never fail to rise to the occasion for charity. We have donated thousands of dollars to support various organizations in the area, and on 3 occasions, our class managed to donate more food items to the food bank than the remainder of the school combined. This is a class that had unparalleled spirit, winning almost every school-wide challenge that took place. This is a class that looked out for each other. In phase 2, at the suggestion of a classmate, we started the Komodo Care Package program. And for the 2 years it ran, we delivered over 60 packages. It was incredibly touching to see the outpouring of support that happened whenever someone felt a classmate was in need. This is a class that I'm so fiercely proud to be graduating with today. And now on the day of our convocation, we begin to look toward the future. As we approach the end of our phase 4 rotations, a funny thing started happening. More and more, our classmates would be overheard speaking about a seemingly mythical place known as the real world. We would speak about the real world we were about to enter with excitement to care for our own patients, excitement to be called doctor, and for the money to start going in the right direction. But we also spoke about it with nervousness and perhaps even fear. Am I ready? Can I do this? Will I remember all that I've learned? Komodos, as we part ways, I hope you realize that yes, you can do this, and yes, you are ready. Though the OVC bubble might feel like a safe and isolated place, I assure you it is still very much a part of this real world. The truth is, life never cared that you were in vet school, and it carried on just the same. Together, we celebrated birthdays, engagements, weddings, and we welcomed Komodo babies. We also supported each other through hard times, breakups, setbacks, and saying goodbye to loved ones. Every year, we had to step up our game as the expectations and the responsibilities increased, and the cases became harder. And though at times it seemed impossible, we did it. Time and time again, you proved that you were capable and worthy of this profession. The real world that we are entering is not all that different than what we've already been through. It will be challenging as it always has been, and you will persevere as you always have. And just as in school, you won't be doing it alone. Your Komodo family will always be there to help you when you need it. I know I'll be calling Chanel should anyone walk into my clinic with a tarantula. If you start a family and you're struggling to find balance in your life, you should give Carly a shout. And when you have no idea who to call Rose. There's literally a 100% chance she knows the answer to your question. Komodos, you all have something to contribute to this profession. Do not discount yourself simply because you are a new grad. As you continue to learn and grow, I encourage you not to be an idle observer, but an active participant moving forward in your career. We are entering a noble profession, but it's not perfect. We have already suffered so many great losses and are long overdue for some changes. We need strong leaders and advocates to push for these changes, and I can't think of a group of people that's better equipped for the task. I think we can expect some great things from the graduates of the class of 2017. I would wish you all luck, but you've never needed it. You made it this far on your own merit, and I have no doubt that you will continue to flourish after we part ways. There is no limit to what you can achieve in this world. As the wise but culturally irrelevant girl by the name of Katie Heron once said, the limit does not exist. Thank you all for being such a wonderful part of my time here at OVC. I hope you look back fondly on the time we spent together. I hope your Wednesdays are filled with thoughts of purple. I hope that corn always brings a smile to your face. Thank you for the cherished memories and valued friendships. The Komodos will always have a special place in my heart, and I will miss you all so very dearly. Now go show the world what you're made of. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. That's an honor greatly deserved, for sure. Now I'd like to ask the class co-presidents, Dr. Bolsterley and Dr. Lowe, to make presentation to the class's honorary class presidents, Dr. Bridle, Dr. Hughes, and Dr. Wood, and also give them the opportunity to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jared Lowe. I'm the second, actually probably closer to the third class president. Today I get the honor, along with Patrick, to present party gifts to our honorary class presidents. So every year from first to third year, we got to pick, the class got to vote on who we thought kind of truly embodied our values. And I went above and beyond to make sure that we understood the material that they taught us. And our first year honorary class president was Dr. Byron Bridle. He taught us immunology. Our second year honorary class president was Dr. Darren Wood. What are you laughing at? And he's a professor in the Principles of Disease. Yeah, that was a long time ago, the Principles of Disease, and Dr. Darren Wood. And last but not least, we have Dr. Julia Hughes. She, as mentioned before, she was one of the technically support staff when we were taking junior surgery, and she was a really great help. So, Dr. Julia Hughes.
I'm going to be the one person to, I'll keep this short and sweet, but being a new grad myself, it is a huge learning curve to be out in the real world, but I just want you to know that I'm here for you. I'm not very tech savvy, so maybe call me instead of email me. But just know there's so many niches in this profession, and that's what makes it so wonderful. So if you get out there and you're struggling or you're unsure if you've picked the right path, just keep swimming and you'll get there. Congratulations. Come on.
I just wanted to say a quick congratulations to you guys as well. This is a big day. Make sure you go and celebrate. Okay. Corn roast. Congratulations.
Komodos, I want to thank you very much for this honor. So I taught this class immunology, which is not a subject that most students love very much. And they were a great class. I also had the opportunity to play hockey with a lot of the members of this class as well, which was great. So that was for the past 4 years. So I want to say congratulations to the class, and I want to say congratulations to the parents and all the hard work you put in behind the scenes. And I have to say I'm not very good at fashion, so I do appreciate the fact that you guys have solved one of my colors to wear one day a week. And I'll keep wearing purple on Wednesdays in honor of this class. Thank you.
Though these were the 3 individuals we chose, on behalf of our class, we do appreciate all faculty that guided us through this journey. If you don't mind, one last applause for Patrick Bolsterley. Patrick, you were a great leader, and I'm glad that you stuck it through with our class for 4 years. I can't think of anyone else who could have done a better job. So I really appreciate what you did for us. So.
Thank you. Now I would like to ask Dr. Wichtel to lead the class in reciting the veterinarian's oath. Dr. Wichtel.
So Komodos, you're the first full class I've had for a full year. So I've really enjoyed you. I'm going to miss you guys. So congratulations to all of you. So there's a lot of joy and tears and laughter during Convocation Week, maybe some headaches too, I don't know. But there is one solemn thing that we do, and you're going to be joining me here today and thousands of other veterinarians before you as you go out into the world and enter your profession. You're going to help me recite the veterinarian's oath. And so I ask all of you new graduates to rise and turn to the last page of your program and read along with me. And I will also ask any other veterinarians in the audience, should they wish to join us, they're welcome to rise and read the veterinarian's oath along with us. So if you can just read with me as we go, I'll try and keep it at a pace where we can all follow. As a member of the veterinary medical profession, I solemnly swear that I will use my scientific knowledge, skills for the benefit of society. I will strive to promote animal health and welfare, prevent and relieve animal suffering, protect the health of the public and environment, and advance comparative medical knowledge. I will practice my profession conscientiously, with dignity, and in keeping with the principles of veterinary medical ethics. I will strive continuously to improve my professional knowledge and competence and to maintain the highest professional and ethical standards for myself and the profession. Thanks, everyone.
I'd like to take a moment now to sincerely thank the team of people who've worked so hard to ensure that this day and these celebrations are the highlight of the academic year at OVC. Some of them are here, some of them are behind the scenes. Elizabeth Lowinger, Caroline Higgins, Lily Arpa, Barb Gaudette, Monica Bertolo, Sonia Randawa, Jane Dawkins, Lindsay Van Alstyne, our photographers Dominic and Barry, our videographer Kevin Hogg, who has sent this ceremony out to the world, hospitality services who provided the food at intermission, and Claire Alexander from the President's Office, who was our liaison and who does an amazing job at getting all of this, all 3 ceremonies this week organized. I wonder if you would join me in thanking them. Now, in closing, perhaps I can take a few moments for some personal words. Family members and friends of the Komodos, earlier as your daughters, sons, brothers, sisters, spouses, partners, or friends' name was read aloud by the dean and they were admitted to the degree of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, I'm sure that many memories flooded back to you of the day that person entered your life through birth or love or friendship. Memories of the ups and downs, laughter and tears, meetings and partings, and hopes and dreams that you have shared with them since then. For some of you, one of those memories will be perhaps the first time you heard your graduate of today say that they wanted to be an animal doctor. Although it is certainly one of the most popular career choices of the elementary school set. In fact, 4 years ago, a full quarter of this class told us that they had decided to be a veterinarian by the age of 5. But these folks in OVC 2017 didn't make it just their daycare career goal, they made it their life goal. And although we all pretty much pass through that stage where animals can be comforting early companions, for some of us, that animal attachment sticks more strongly and persistently. Almost everybody loves animals, but far fewer decide that they want to have a career where they also have to get along with them, and more importantly, with the people who accompany them. Perhaps we connect with animals early in life because among the first playthings for babies are animal-shaped toys. And of course, many alphabet books use animal examples to illustrate the letters. Animal idioms enrich our everyday language. Have you ever said or heard someone say, "Mom, that cell phone you're using is a dinosaur"? "I sent the letter by snail mail." "That's a horse of a different color." Or, "Okay, don't have a cow." Perhaps you have chickened out, clammed up, or made a mountain out of a molehill. So when so many people are exposed to animals throughout their lives and don't think about becoming veterinarians, why are you different? Why did you decide that you wanted to spend your career interacting with animals in some form or other? So to help answer that question, perhaps we can turn the clock back to early 2013, when several hundred people, including you, the then future Violet Komodos, were sitting down and staring hard at blank computer screens. Blank, that is, except for one line in the DVM application form that was on the screen. One line that said, "Explain why you wish to be a veterinarian. Please respond in essay form." For our international applicants, that one line was slightly different. It said, "Discuss briefly the development of your interest in veterinary medicine." Let's talk a bit about those questions. Really, what they were asking you in a way was to try to sum up over your whole life why you had decided to apply to OVC. For guidance, maybe you went around to those you trust, the people who are here with you today, and asked their advice. And perhaps you went to others who sadly are not here now, but who you can rest assured knew that you would succeed in reaching your goal. Then you started typing, and gradually you saw forming the words that said in a way who you were. Perhaps it didn't come easily, but after hours, days, maybe weeks, you finally were satisfied. Maybe it was version 3, 23, or 53, but you'd finished. You hit submit, and away it went, carrying your hopes and dreams with it. So what did you write in response to those questions? So that we can all better understand the experiences in your lives that led you to becoming veterinarians, I'd like to share just a few anonymous excerpts of your responses. That I reread this week to highlight some common threads that may resonate with many in the audience. I found that you often did indeed mention influential early happenings in your lives, and some of them were quite unexpected. For example, my path to vet school started at the age of 7 when my grade 2 teacher asked us to write a poem on what we wanted to be in the future. I'd never thought of such a question. However, the answer came naturally. I was going to be a veterinarian. So I looked it up. There are only 53 words in the English language that even remotely rhyme with veterinarian. So I'm not sure how that poem actually would have turned out. Some very tolerant pets help reinforce your career aspirations. I used to place my cat Smokey on the freezer and run diagnostics on him, taking mock x-rays, doing pretend blood work, and fashioning splints out of construction paper. Thank you, Smokey, wherever you are, for your endless patience. You will never know how much you contributed. For many of you, it is clear from what you wrote that those here with you today were, and I know remain, your biggest boosters. As far back as I can remember, I've wanted to help both people and animals. I remember as a little girl bandaging my dad anytime he injured himself. And thank you, Dad, for possibly being more accident prone than average. Another example of how you helped. As a child, Steve Irwin was my idol, and a life spent tracking predators in Africa or roaming the outback seemed like nothing short of perfection. My parents often went on search and rescue missions before bedtime, only to find me down the street, gathering strange bugs and critters for my collection. And veterinary mentors, you had a huge influence as well. When I was 13 years old, I can vividly remember a veterinarian at Woodbine Racetrack teaching me that bones in horses' forelimbs are similar to the bones in our arms. This took very little of his time, but it had a big impact on me. In that moment, I made the connection between the animals I had always been drawn to and the study of biology that I was just beginning to appreciate in school. And now, Komodos, here you all are. You recall perhaps the first time that we met. It was in room 1714 on Monday, September the 2nd, 2013. On the screen, I showed you a PowerPoint slide that said, "Welcome OVC 2017!" And then I showed you the next line on that slide that said, "So I got in, what happens now?" Well, now you know. I imagine in many ways that it has been as you thought it would, and in others completely unimaginable. And probably from this moment forward, you will find that too. We know that we've readied you to do great things and to do even the small things in a great way. Wherever your path takes you from here, on behalf of all of us at OVC, I wish you every personal and professional success in the years ahead. Please always remember that as you take care of others, be sure that you take care of yourself first. And this bell was the time signal at the multiple mini interviews. And so for many of you, it signaled the beginning of your OVC journey. I will ring it now to both bring our ceremony to a close and to mark the beginning of the next step in your veterinary career. Thank you. I hope you have a lovely evening with your new graduates, and look forward to keeping in touch with all of you. Thank you again.
That's really lovely.
Thank you.
What a nice way to wrap it up.
Thanks. Yeah, it's kind of
You always come up with something. You always come up with something.
I know I taught myself
it's
it.
never the same.
Never the same.
It's a little element. You do such a terrific job.
Oh, thank you.